Did you find what you're looking for?
This regulator on leisurePro.com looks like the one I want, but I'm not sure how to adjust the airflow.
Look, they have a chat interface. You can talk to a dive expert 24 hours a day.
At LeisurePro.com, you could get the product answers you need fast by chatting with our dive experts anytime.
The Florida Keys are home to a protected 2,800 square mile national marine sanctuary, an abundance of wrecks, and over 6,000 different species. But whether you're a diver or a snorkeler, there's always room for one more.
Be a part of ScubaNation. Get your gear today. ScubaNation Apparel by Uzi, available at ScubaNation.com.
This edition of ScubaNation is brought to you by Leisure Pro, the Divers Emporium.
The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. Sea Dog and Shipyard Ales, the official beer of ScubaNation.
This time on ScubaNation.
The lionfish are a serious ecological issue to the waters of the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and the Western Atlantic. We'll take a look at how the problem started, how it's progressed, and what's being done about it. This time on ScubaNation.
Who is ScubaNation? Billy C., Boston born and raised.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Hey, Billy C. would dive a puddle if it was deep enough.
Bitch and Mitch, Southern boy.
Diving's like pizza. When it's good, it's great, and when it's bad, it's still good.
Two ordinary guys with a thirst for getting wet and exploring all things scuba. We are ScubaNation. One nation underwater.
Presented by Leisure Pro.
Welcome to ScubaNation, I'm Mitch. And I'm Billy C. And today we're in the fabulous Florida Keys, a special edition of the show. We're tackling an environmental issue.
Yeah, we sure are. We're going to go diving with our friend Ladd Akins of Reef Organization, and he's going to tell us all we need to know about this lionfish invasion we got going on down here in the fabulous Florida Keys. And you know what else we found out? There's some good eating too, Billy C.
Our friend Bobby Stokey's going to show us some great recipes. In diving community, you can help solve this issue down here.
Yeah, you sure can. So we're going to tackle the lionfish problem right here on ScubaNation.
The lionfish are an invasive species to South Florida and the Florida Keys. They're eating the native fish at an alarming rate. They're also spreading like wildfire. Ladd Akins and the Reef Organization are on top of this issue and are looking for ways to resolve it.
The lionfish is a pretty fish, but it's a fish that doesn't belong here. So today, we get him out of here.
The team from Reef didn't waste any time getting to work. Heading up the team is Reef's Director of Special Projects, Ladd Akins.
Well, it's one thing to study lionfish and to look at them and learn what they're doing and document what the impacts are, but the whole premise behind Reef is conservation of marine resources.
And the first order of business of the dive, we got to find some lionfish.
Reef has been involved in this lionfish invasion on many different scales. From the everyday ground roots, go out, get lionfish, take them out of the water, to training trainers so that they can teach their own local divers how to collect and handle lionfish, to working with governments and helping design and implement control programs and strategies, to regional projects, looking at, as a region, how are we going to deal with this new impact. So we have programs that span that entire spectrum, everything from policy to on-the-ground tools and techniques of the best way to get a lionfish out of the water. We weren't sure exactly what the impacts were going to be when the lionfish first showed up. We knew they weren't native to these waters, you know, they're native to the Indo-Pacific, but we didn't know what they were going to be doing. And it wasn't until a number of years into this invasion that people started realizing the impacts lionfish can have through their, what we call gluttonous predation. Horrendous feeders. They go out and they just take anything that moves that fits into their mouth. And even when they're full, they keep eating. So those impacts can be quite severe. The thing about lionfish is that it was completely preventable. What we're looking at is a home aquarium fish, or multiple home aquarium fish, that were dumped into the ocean. First records we have of lionfish anywhere in the Atlantic go back to 1985, and a lionfish showed up in a commercial fisherman's trap that he pulled off Dania Beach. But I mean, that was an isolated first-time sighting. Nobody knew what the scoop was with that. It was treated kind of as a novel curiosity. And it wasn't until a few years later that the next sightings showed up. Probably been multiple releases over time until enough lionfish got together they were able to reproduce, and then really it was all over.
It always makes my dive when I can whack one of these bad boys.
And then they started showing up along the east coast of the U.S. Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina in 1999 and 2000, and those populations began increasing. And then the first fish in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, 2004. And the population from the Bahamas spread southward down to Turks and Caicos, Cuba, Hispaniola, and then a rapid explosion throughout the entire region. And as of 2012, every place in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico was invasive lionfish territory. We have no idea how many lionfish are out there. So we're talking North Carolina to South America, including the Gulf of Mexico, from the shoreline to 1,000 feet, wherever there's structure and food. Who knows what that number could be? It's going to have a lot of zeros on the end of it.
It's the efforts of Ladd Atkins and his team at Reef. They're keeping the pulse on this invasive species. Without their efforts, without that teamwork down there, this thing's going to get out of hand. But because of people like that, we're going to keep this thing under control. That I believe. Oh man, what a great dive. You know where we're headed.
The Rum Barrel offers the tastiest of Key West cuisine and ice-cold beer and spirits to wet any whistle. Divers, show your certification card and get 10% off any order. Dive, decompress, Rum Barrel, Key West.
Dive the Atocha with Mel Fisher's expedition in Key West. Be a treasure hunter and dive the active wreck site of the richest Spanish galleon ever discovered. Mel Fisher and his crew discovered the Motherlode in 1985. Today, the search continues for the remaining hundreds of millions of dollars in cargo. The Fisher family now invites you to learn proper salvage techniques from the world's greatest treasure hunters. Join us for the adventure of a lifetime. Today's the day.
Born in Maine, created by Alan Pugsley, world-class craft brewer. Sea Dog, now sailing in Florida. And available in cans. Sea Dog is award-winning. A perfect fit for our Florida lifestyle. Visit our brew houses in Clearwater and Orlando.
This edition of Scuba Nation is brought to you by Reef Safe, biodegrades in oceans, non-toxic to sea life. Scuba Works, quality runs deep. And Spare Air, there when you need it.
Hey Scuba Nation, Billy C here. And on today's Product Shorty, we are going to highlight the Mare's Instinct 12S regulator. It truly is one of a kind. The Instinct 12S has a hydrodynamic second stage. It's lightweight. The side exhaust deflects the exhaled breath so that hardly any bubbles will ever crowd your view. Therefore, you always get to see fish and coral heads without bubbles in your face. The VAD systems ensures high performance in any orientation. Compensating openings in the back minimize the likelihood of free flows and strong current, which is always a plus, and 4 pre-oriented LP ports. The Mare's Instinct 12S is definitely becoming one of Billy C's favorite pieces of equipment. Look for it at Leisure Pro and visit leisuropro.com and order yours today.
Welcome back. We're taking a close look at the lionfish problem. Lionfish are an invasive species causing serious problems over much of the Atlantic and the Caribbean. Man, I'll never forget this lionfish kill. He was huge, 18-incher off the coast of Fort Lauderdale.
So welcome back, Scuba Nation. We're here with Laddie Atkins here at Reef headquarters in Key Largo. And Laddie, let's talk a little bit about the anatomy of this fish.
Yeah, let's do. We actually have a cooler with some lionfish in it, so let's pull one of these bad boys out and take a look.
Now these guys have been on the ice for a little while. How long does it take for the venom in the spines to go inert?
Well, actually it depends on the temperature. So keeping them on ice keeps the venom active longer.
Stan, not all of these spines are poisonous, so take us through that.
Well, on the side of the fish, notice these big, beautiful pectoral fins that stick out. These are not venomous.
Right.
So you definitely don't have to worry about these guys. But the ones you have to watch out for, though, are also pretty prominent. Right across the back of the fish, you see these very long, needle-like dorsal spines running all the way down the back right to here. So during a sting, as the spine goes in, this skin gets peeled back, as you can see. Wow. And as the skin peels down, it disrupts the glandular tissue in those grooves and allows the venom into that wound.
What about the rear fin, and aren't there some anal and pectoral spikes you got to worry about too, right?
Venomous spines on the bottom of the fish.
Okay, and this is where I always get confused because I'm not sure which ones are which.
So, but then right behind those are a pair of fins called pelvic fins. Okay. Imagine the pelvis of the fish, if you would. The very first part of each of these fins is a spine. Okay. So it's kind of incorporated into the fish.
I see him now. So it's not really so much this guy down here.
That's right.
It's that guy there.
Just the leading edge right here. It's shorter. It's only this long. All of these soft rays are not venomous.
Just sort of like the
leading edge on each side is a venomous spine. Okay. And then similar situation back here at the bottom of the fish. This is the anal fin.
Right.
And there are 3 short spines to start the anal fin off.
Okay, I see. And really you have to be impaled in order to inject the venom into the body, right?
You have to stick yourself with these.
I see. I've been stung several times. To me, the best way to describe it to the folks at home, it's like if you ever hit your thumb with a hammer, it's that kind of pain. It's not really sting, it's more like a throbbing pain. And it'll last about 6 to 8 hours. But what should you do in the event that you do get stung?
Yeah, well, you're right. People vary in their response to the stings. And some people, stings can be debilitating.
Right.
And the pain can be very severe. And other people, depending on the sting, have a lesser reaction. A lot of stings happen on the hand.
And that's where every one of mine have happened on the bony top of my hand.
Yeah. So that's probably a good thing that it's on the bony part rather than deep into a muscle.
Okay.
First of all, there have been no known deaths from lionfish stings anywhere in this invasion.
Oh, that's good to know.
Immediately when you're stung, you feel the pain.
Sure.
All right, it's time to go ahead and finish the dive. Do a slow ascent, do your safety stop,
okay,
then get up on the boat. Fortunately, first aid for lionfish stings is pretty simple. It's immersion of the affected area in non-scalding hot water.
It's a really gorgeous, because it's a gorgeous fish. It's a real shame that we gotta destroy these guys, but they're causing problems.
If we don't take care of these guys, they're gonna take care of the rest of our fish.
ScubaNation, lionfish hunting, it's fun. We're doing something good for the environment. So obviously we need equipment to go out there and effectively hunt lionfish. What do we use?
Yeah, well, there are actually a lot of different things we can use. Right. A lot of divers are familiar with spearing those, so let's start with that.
Sure.
On the end, a 3-prong tip, which does a couple of things. When you get 3 points into a lionfish, it holds it, so it can't spin around the tip. One of the newest devices out on the market are these one-way tubes, if you will. This is made by a company called Zookeeper.
This is the best one I've seen out there.
Well, this is a PVC tube, so there's no way the spines are going to penetrate.
No worries about getting stung with your trapped lionfish. So you just keep on hunting.
It's fast, it's simple, and it's safe. And one of the nice things about dry bags is that they can also be wet bags.
Okay.
So we take this in the water with us, unroll it, open it up.
And we saw you guys use this device today in the water.
Yeah, these are great. You can open this up in the water, get the air bubbles out, introduce your fish into the bag, and once it's in there, you roll the top down a couple of good rolls, and you've got your lionfish in here, especially when you're in areas that are maybe a little bit sharky, or that may have predators that could be attracted to the scent of a speared lionfish. This dry bag keeps all that water right inside.
Bobby, what do you got cooking over here, bro?
Lionfish ceviche, check this out.
Oh my God, now you chefs have really come up with some clever and creative ways of cooking lionfish, no doubt. Hey look, stay with us through the break. Chef Stokey over here is going to show us how to cook a lionfish like you've never seen before. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Sea Dog.
Home of award-winning beers, including Sea Dog Blueberry. Lightning lunches. Authentic brewmasters in every pub. Maine lobster, available daily. Join the Mug Club. Perfect spot for gatherings of any size. And late night specials. Sea Dog Brew Pub, now in Florida.
Hey honey, I'm on LeisurePro.com shopping for a new dive computer. I'm actually blogging with another diver that has the same one. Let me call you right back.
Have a question about a product? At LeisurePro.com, you can ask questions with other Leisure Pro customers about the products you want before you buy.
Sure.
Whoa! When Billy C and Mitch finish our dives on Saturdays, we head on over to the Spackle Road
for all you can eat, dig in, and pig out barbecue.
Tobacco Road, Miami's oldest watering hole, is serving up
all you can eat barbecue
every Saturday starting at noon. Divers, sea cards means no cover on Saturdays.
All you can eat barbecue every Saturday right here at Tobacco Road. One nation, eating barbecue.
Our coral reefs have suffered a 90% loss over the last 20 years. Ocean temperature change combined with pollution has taken a serious toll. Ken Niedermeyer, a CNN hero and founder of the Coral Restoration Foundation, is changing that. Since 2004, the Coral Restoration Foundation has grown and planted thousands of new corals. His pioneering and proven methods are used both here and abroad, but Ken needs your help.
Visit coralrestoration.org. Donate now and make a world of difference for our oceans.
Hey ScubaNation, this is Mitch. Just wanted to let you know when I dive the 305, I always dive on Aquatic Explorers. They feature a brand new dive boat with a crew that's second to none. So when you're ready to plan your next diving adventure,
the best boat and crew for private charters, and all your certification needs by world-class instructors, please click or call the friends of the program, Aquatic Explorers.
This edition of Scuba Nation is brought to you by Leisure Pro, the Divers Emporium.
Ocean-minded footwear. Live, protect, respect. Grove Scuba, Miami's only PADI 5-star instructor training center. Maris, the official equipment provider for Scuba Nation.
Hey Scuba Nation, we're here today with Bobby Stokey, Marker 88 restaurant here in the fabulous Florida Keys. The more we eat of these guys, the better off it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And on top of that, it's really good meat. It's amazing fish. So all you're going to worry about are these top fins right here, okay? Yep. We're not too worried about these guys, and we're worried about these anal fins right here in the back. I hope you guys can see that at home. Today, though, what we're going to do is we're going to make butter-baked lionfish today. So good. Wow. Wait till you see this. So what we have is we have some little lionfish fillets. We already filleted up.
It's a beautiful white meat.
It's beautiful white meat. It is a great, really simple tasting fish, and what I mean by that is it does not have a fishy flavor at all. Right? This is super easy. You can do it anywhere. All you need is a barbecue grill.
Yep.
You're gonna line these up with some carrot sticks. Put some nice thin sliced onions right on top of there. All right. Some zucchini and yellow squash, like cut up super thin. All right. So how do you like this so far?
This looks amazing, Bobby.
Pretty easy, right?
I am ready to eat lionfish.
Pile it up with the vegetables, okay? Just be brave.
Look at that. And it's healthy. Look how healthy this dish is.
Oh yeah, this is the healthy part right here.
Well, you know,
put some extra butter on there.
Butter's like lubrication. It lubricates the system.
Exactly. A little salt and pepper, all right?
Yep.
And that's it. Turn your barbecue grill on high. Yep. We're gonna fold this all up.
Oh man.
Make it a nice little package. From here, right into the grill. And remember I told you the magic of TV?
Yes, sir.
Look what we have in here already. This is a little bit warm.
No better way.
Look at that. That is what we get when we're done.
No better way. Gotta go to ScubaNation.com. See this amazing recipe by Bobby Stokey. Catch your lionfish, cook them up, eat them up. That's how we get rid of these guys. They're invasive, right?
There you go.
Home run, brother.
Butter-baked lionfish.
Butter-baked lionfish.
So lionfish aren't going to have an impact on one or two things. They're going to have an impact on the entire marine ecosystem. That in 2 years, lionfish on heavily invaded reefs reduced the native fish population by an average of 65%. Well, there's a lot of bad news relative to the lionfish invasion. Their spawning activity, the lack of predators, what they're doing to our native marine system, but there's good news too. And most of that good news is coming from the dive community. And what we're finding is that divers can have a very positive effect on keeping lionfish numbers down. Local control efforts that are on a regular basis are proving extremely effective at reducing the lionfish population and maintaining it at low density and allowing our native marine life to come back in those areas.
Bring your spears, you know, get your eagle eyes on so you can spot the lionfish and help us get rid of them, because we want to get them out of here and protect the reef. So it's good for the dive community, it's good for the tourism, and it's great for the reef. So it's good all around.
So divers go out and remove lionfish for a number of different reasons. A lot of people do it just because they know it needs to be done and it's good for the environment, and they feel good about helping in that way. It's a lot of fun to go out and be able to hunt something and not feel guilty about it. You know, you don't feel guilty about shooting a 30-pound grouper when you're taking a lionfish instead. Yeah, Reef organizes a South Florida Derby series in Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale and Key Largo in the Florida Keys. So these are typically one-day events that offer up prize money, and it's a festive occasion, and everybody goes out and sees how many lionfish they can get.
So let the experts handle this. Let the diving vacationers handle it.
Just stick to the camera, okay?
Yeah.
And then prizes are awarded for the most, the biggest, the smallest, top lady anglers, etc. And they're a lot of fun, but they're also a really good way to get rid of a lot of lionfish. We're talking hundreds and sometimes thousands of lionfish removed from a single day event.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, and those lionfish are wearing milk bone underwear.
So this is not going to be an easy issue to tackle. there are some good news stories, and divers are able to make a very significant contribution to helping protect at least high priority areas like marine protected areas and key dive sites. But there's still a lot of work to be done.
Well, I really thought I knew lionfish until I started talking with Lad Akins.
And I didn't know there were so many recipes to eat lionfish until I talked to Bobby Stokey.
They are some good eating fish.
Great way to solve a problem.
It's world hunger right there.
Exactly.
So Scuba Nation, September 14th, right down here in the fabulous Florida Keys, you got the 4th annual Lionfish Derby.
So you don't make sure you don't want to miss it. Thanks again for watching One Nation Underwater.
I'm Billy C.
And
Oh yeah, and I go.
welcome, ScubaNation. I'm Mitch,
and I'm Billy C. Today I'm gonna fall in the water.
Good book.
Can edit that out.
I want to do it
again first, and we're here in Key Largo.
Key Largo. I usually say Key West, right?
Right as close.
Definitely not Key West. My liver's telling me that.
This far away, the prey fish, it lunges forward, opens that mouth, creates suction.
Sure, and
it sucks, or small. Don't touch this.
Yeah, right.
Just check it out. That's a really venomous part.
Right.
If not, all right.